In this remastered holiday special from 2019, diabolical Krampus cultists try to prevent Sparky, Rust, and Cousin Eddie from reaching the fabled enclave of Christmastown. Season's greetings to you and yours. If you've been following the channel for a while, then you might remember our first ever holiday special, Gaslands Escape to Christmastown, which we posted way back in December of 2019. Well, that was a very early effort for us, and at the time it was only viewable in standard definition. So this year we decided to post a remastered version of the video, tweaking the audio and color correction a bit, and then reloading the whole thing in HD. So if you never saw the show the first time around, or just want to experience it in high definition, here's your chance. Thanks very much for joining us. Happy holidays, everybody. Let's hit it. Welcome to the channel, and also welcome to our special Gaslands holiday event. It involves a family of Martian resistors here, known as the Greywoods. And you may have seen their doppelgangers in some famous major motion pictures where they're traveling cross-country trying to get to a theme park, or visit the family for the holidays, or go to Las Vegas, or a bunch of misadventures. But for today, they're going to be trying to travel to Christmastown. This is in the Gaslands universe, and there's one city, one free city, left up north that the Martians haven't been able to crack, and it's run by this crazy guy named Klaus. And he's rumored to be sort of a trans-dimensional being. But anyway, it is a free city, and so people who are resisting the Martians can travel up there in the winter as long as they get through the pass before solstice and the pass closes down. So the Martians know all of this is happening, and they want to keep the number of resistance fighters moving up north to a minimum. So to help staunch the flow, the Martians have recruited a bunch of Krampus worshippers. They're a bunch of these chaotic raiders who kind of roam around up north, and they call themselves the Nutcrackers. So the Martians have kind of recruited them, and they've told the Nutcrackers that, hey, there's resistance fighters coming up the road. They might have good loot. And also, if you bring us their heads, we'll throw you a few bucks, a few cans on the side. So that's what's happening. The Greywoods are traveling. They're trying to get through the pass before solstice, and everything gets all blocked off, and they're trying to make it to Christmastown. But they have to deal with these raiders that are going to try to reach them before they get to the pass. So that's the broad strokes of our Gaslands holiday special here today, and Lynn and I are going to kind of roll to determine randomly who gets which team, and once we do that, then we'll kind of run down the specifics of each of these two clans and see what they got. So the high roll plays the Greywood resistors who are traveling cross-country with their clan, trying to make it to Christmastown and freedom. And I got a 1, and you got a 1. I got a 2. And you got a 5, so
okay.
You're going to play the Greywoods. So the Greywoods are going to come in on this side of the board, and they're going to have to work the way all the way through to the other edge to make it to the pass and freedom. And the Raiders are going to be entering the board randomly from 3 other sides. And so we're going to take 3 D12s and roll them to get a number between 3 and 36, and that'll sort of determine where the Raiders come in. They won't be blocked by any obstacles or anything like that, but they'll come in at the nearest point to what the number indicates. And they're going to try to close in on the Greywoods before these guys and their clan make it across the border. So the Greywoods are not Gaslanders. They don't do arena matches, and they don't go out into the wasteland and raid. So they don't have a lot of weaponry strapped to the outside of their vehicles. But they are still heavily armed because this is a dangerous world, and they knew they were going to have to punch through raiders getting to Christmastown. So Lynn, give us a sense of what these guys do have in terms of armaments.
So the family Truckster has a submachine gun and a magnum, and Sparky and Rust are inside, ready to wield those weapons.
So Sparky's at the wheel and Rust is manning the submachine gun.
Correct.
And this here is Cousin Eddie's 1972 Ford Condor, and that's got 8 crew, correct?
So these guys are ready to shoot from all the windows.
Okay, so what do they got?
They have a shotgun, side caltrops, Molotov cocktails, they have 2 boxes of those, and a mobile mechanic.
Yeah, the mobile mechanic, when the weapon activation phase comes up, you can designate one of those guys to not shoot, and he can repair damage. So he can repair 1 damage to the RV as they're driving along. And the caltrops, side-mounted caltrops, I guess that's going to just indicate that they have buckets of rusty nails and all kinds of stuff. They're just throwing out the windows to try to slow down any raiders. But they also have a lot of bottles of gasoline, 10 of them. And with 8 crew, they could put a lot of fire on somebody.
Wreak a little havoc.
How do you want the Greywoods to come onto the board here?
Probably the Condor is going to go out first.
Okay.
Because the family Truckster needs to get some drag from the
yeah, okay.
big Ford Condor.
So next we're going to determine randomly which side and where the raiders are going to come in. So I'm just going to pick one raider car, roll randomly to determine where he ends up, and then we'll go to the next one and the next one and make sure that there's one on each side. So that'll be opposite from where the RV and the truckster are coming in. So this Pizza Planet guy is a new Hot Wheels that just came out for this holiday season. And he's featured prominently in numerous Pixar movies. I can't say that he's in all of them, but in a bunch of them in one form or another. But for the purposes of today's game, he is going to be Atomic Pizza, and his rocket on there is actually going to be a BFG. So he's got this big high explosive missile on his truck, and he can fire it once. And once he does, it'll shoot him backwards and medium straight, knock him down to first gear, and then also give him 3 hazards. So he gets one big shot. So normally we would roll 3d12s and then use a yardstick to kind of determine the exact inch measurement where he landed. But because this back edge is so cluttered with terrain, we'll just kind of wing it. So we'll say 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6 on a d6. So he's going to come in this corner over here, place him kind of like that. Okay, so Atomic Pizza is coming in, starting in gear 3, like everyone else. We're just assuming that everyone's coming in at speed. So Red Crush has got armor, he's got a ram, he's a pickup, so that means he's got 3 guys in there, but that's it. No external guns or anything like that, so he's basically just going to try to be a wrecking ball and run into things or, get close enough to shoot them with the handguns. So the back edge is already covered, so we're going to say the left-hand side is going to be 1, 2, 3, and the right-hand side of the board is going to be 4, 5, 6. 6. So he's going to come in on the right-hand side of the board. And about 11 inches up. So that's going to put him about right there, which means he's coming in almost adjacent to Atomic Pizza. And my third and final vehicle is Skullblazer, and this was a vehicle that Lynn put together for our Gaslands War Rig combat that we had a couple of months ago. So my whole team is only 60 points. These vehicles are pretty bare bones. This guy just has, he's a car with a turreted heavy machine gun, and that's it. So 3 vehicles, about 60 points, and I think the Greywoods are about the same. The Truckster doesn't have that much, but the RV, the Condor, actually has quite a lot in terms of caltrops and Molotovs and things like that. Nothing really high point value, but at least it has some capability and a lot of crew members. So Skullblazer is going to be on the left-hand side of the board, and he's going to be about 16, 17, 18. So he's going to be right about there, sort of next to the Yeti, who is not going to bother anybody as long as we don't run into him. I guess we should also point out that the trees are going to be, they're going to give cover, obviously, and if someone's obscured by them, then, there's no line of sight. The packages are light destructible obstacles. This trailer here is a medium destructible obstacle. The trees, the little trees, are medium destructible obstacles, but the big Christmas tree is a heavy obstacle, as are the rocks. So that is our setup, and now we roll. I got a 3. 6.
Yeah, 6.
You have pole position.
All right.
Okay, so the Greywoods are in the home stretch, going toward Christmastown, and you have 1 vehicle on the board already. But I guess what you could do is you could either place a template for them, or bring the other one on and place a template for that one.
Maybe I'll bring the other one on and place a template for that one.
Okay. So the family Truckster is on the board. That's Sparky and Rust.
And we're in gear 3.
All right.
So I need to roll.
Roll some skid dice.
So the handling on the Truckster is 3. No bonuses on the Gentle in gear 3.
Shift, spin, slide. Oh, another thing we should mention is that the road, of course, is road. It's in decent condition. Everything off the road is rough terrain. If you're on the road and you end on the road and all your template is on the road, you can reduce 1 hazard at the end of your movement. If you're off the road, then at the end of your turn, you get a hazard.
I think I'll take a hazard and re-roll those 2.
Shift and slide.
So I'll get rid of that.
Okay. And so you could shift up to 4 if you wanted to.
I will shift up to 4.
So that puts you at 2 hazards.
But I'm in gear 4.
All right.
So my template was all on the road, and I ended the movement with my vehicle all on the road, so I get to remove one hazard, so I only have one hazard. And no one's in range.
Okay. So for my first activation, I'm going to activate Red Crush. He's in gear 3. He is not on the road. He's going to go ahead and do medium straight. Yeah, I guess I'll roll some skid dice. Why not? Slide, shift, shift. Yeah, all right. We're going to try this. So he is going to shift up to gear 4. He is going to keep that slide. And so, and then I guess discard that shift. So he gets 1 hazard for shifting up and 1 hazard for the slide. So that's 2 hazards. Kind of go like that, I guess.
And he takes a hazard for being off-road.
Yes, he does. So he's got to get on road here pretty quickly. So that is Red Crush trying to get a bead on the Grey Woods. So now, I guess you're going to be moving the Condor.
Yep. In his max gear of 3.
In his max gear of 3.
He's going to do a gentle.
Okay, gentle turn. Roll some skid dice or no?
Well, he can't go up in gear, so probably not.
Okay. Then just move him into final position, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Condor is carrying the legacy of the Greywood clan. The whole family's in there, except for Sparky and Rust in the family trickster. And really, they don't have all that far to go. I mean, they're almost halfway there already.
You have 2 more guys to move.
I have 2 more guys. Thankfully, the Raiders better get on the stick here. This is going to be a short game. So for my next vehicle, we're going to activate Skullblazer, and he's going to try to get out there into the road and do some damage with his heavy machine gun. Medium straight. I don't think I'm going to roll any skid dice for him. We're just going to move him. So he's going to move up here. Yeah, he's still going to take a hazard for being on rough terrain because his template is overlapping the tundra there. Okay, so that puts him at 1 hazard. He is going to unleash his heavy machine gun at the Condor. And yeah, his handgunner is not in range. So he's just going to shoot the Condor. That's 3d6, heavy machine gun, and you are in gear 3, so you get 3 evade dice. So that's a 6, so that's 2, 3, 4. 4 hits on the Condor from the heavy machine gun. And you didn't. So you take 4 hits from the heavy machine gun. 0 evades. So you've activated both of your vehicles, and the only raider left is Atomic Pizza. And so he is going to do a gentle turn. No skid dice. We're just going to move him. And that is my 3 activations. So now we are in gear 2. And you still have pole position. Okay, which lucky vehicle gets to move?
The Condor is going to go first. We're going to do a gentle, which might not have been the best move, but we will see.
Okay. Going to roll any skid dice?
No. So I get to get rid of 1 hazard for
being on the road.
Being on the road and having my whole template on the road. Oh, I didn't have any hazards. But I am going to attack. And I'm going to use my mobile mechanic to get rid of 1 hull damage.
So you're going to use your mobile mechanic. That's one of your 8 crew members. And he's going to repair some holes in the Condor's hull while the other 7 do something. 1 with a shotgun. Are you going to use caltrops or anything like that?
Caltrops go to the side, so there's no one in.
Well, let's see. Actually, yeah, I mean, you could still hit him with caltrops.
Okay, well then. So caltrops, shotgun, and a Molotov cocktail, and then the rest just pistols or whatever they have.
Okay. So that would be, let's see, 3 for the shotgun because of the range.
2 for the caltrops.
2 for the caltrops.
And
we'll do a red one for the Molotov.
Okay.
So
and
that
then
is
the rest.
1, 2, 3, and then you need another 5 dice for all your handgunners. Oh, 4.
4.
4 because 1 guy's repairing the RV.
Yep.
Okay. So that is 4, 6, 9, 10. 10d6.
I think I need 2 hands for all these. Not very good, though.
Okay. Miss, 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 miss.
3
hits. So that's not a very good average. Look at all those 1s.
Yeah.
Look at all those ones. The fates don't want you to make it to Christmas Town.
No, I guess not.
The
But
Martian
3.
gods have spoken. Okay, so 3.
How many do you get to roll for a year?
I'm in gear 3. And 2 evades. So I take 1 hit from all of that.
Wow.
So caltrops changed in the new book. So under the old rules, you drop some caltrops, it does 2 points of damage, and then the caltrops are gone. Under the new rules, as I understand it, you drop the caltrops, the car that runs over them or has them dumped on him, he gets 2 attack dice now, and so you rolled your 2 attack dice along with all the other attacks. But also, it counts as treacherous terrain. So that gives him 2 hazards because there's rusty nails all over the road. So even though you didn't do any damage,
He still takes 2 hazards.
Two hazards, yeah.
So I did 1 damage and he got 2 hazards.
Right. So that puts him at 3 hazards. Okay. So that is the Condor. So my first activation in Gear 2 is going to be Red Crush. He's currently in Gear 4, 3 hazards. So he's going to have to remove some hazards here with some skid dice, I think. He doesn't have any long-range weapons, so he needs to line up some sort of a hit here. And because he's in Gear 4, he can't really do a turn, because that'll give him another hazard. So we'll try a gentle and see where that gets us. Probably not going to do us a whole bunch of good here. Yeah, I should have done a more severe turn. And I will say that the first time I rolled him, I forgot he was a truck, so I gave him 1 extra skid die. So my apologies. There was an extra shift that got discarded, so it's all good. But shift and shift. So he's going to use those to get rid of 2 hazards. Then he's going to move. He's kind of screwed up here.
That slide probably wasn't the best idea.
I could have used a spin, actually.
Yeah, a spin would have been better.
A spin would have been great, and I guess I didn't do that. So he's going to get rid of 2 hazards because of his 2 shifts, but he's going to pick up 1 because he's still off the road. So that brings him to 2 hazards total. Okay, so now it's your activation, and I guess you get to move the family truckster.
I'm going to do it gentle to get around that broken down wagon there. He has a handling of 3. Maybe I can get a spin.
Slide shift hazard.
I guess I'm taking a hazard to get rid of those 2 and try again. Shift. Perfect. I can't get rid of the 1 hazard I got there, but I can get rid of the other hazard with this dice that I had from before.
Yeah.
I think I will stay at Gear 4.
Okay.
So he has 1 hazard.
Right.
At the moment, but I think he'll still be on the road when we're done here. Let's find out. Looks like he is.
Okay.
So he'll lose that last hazard.
Okay.
Am I close enough to shoot is the question. I've got a double with the Magnum. I think I have line of sight.
Sparky is packing a Magnum, and that means it's a 1d6 attack, but if you get damage through, it has a blast effect. 6, so that's 2 hits. He's in Gear 4, so he gets 4 evades. 1 evade. So you did 1 damage with the Magnum.
So what does the blast do?
For every uncancelled hit, it's a hazard. So that takes Red Crush up to 4 hazards because he got hit with a Magnum. He is an armored truck, so he's got plenty of hull to spare, but it's the indignity of it, really. Yeah, so I think Atomic Pizza is going to make a move here. He's going to do a gentle turn. I think I'm going to forego my skid dice for the moment and just move him.
Then you take 1 hazard for being off-road.
So he takes 1 hazard for being off-road. That takes him to 2 hazards. He's about to get a whole bunch more, though.
He's going to use his BFG.
It's not a rocket, the typical rocket you would see in the rulebook, but it's the equivalent of a BFG. So he's got some sort of a rocket-powered, high-explosive thing attached to the top of his truck. It's going to shoot him backwards. The range of the BFG is double, so you're within range there. But once he fires it, it's going to do 10d6 attack dice. But it's going to shoot him backwards in medium straight, so he may actually run into that troll.
Or the trees.
Or the trees. It's going to reduce him to Gear 1, and it's going to give him +3 hazards. So something interesting is going to happen. But before we worry about that, we will roll our 10 attack dice.
I hope you do as well as I did.
sixes. We want lots and lots,
Lots of ones.
sixes.
Lots of ones.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So we did 8 from the BFG.
Okay.
And you're in gear what?
3.
Okay.
So I got 8 damage.
You take 8 damage from the BFG. Well, that mobile mechanic should get working here pretty soon, because now there's a big gaping hole in the side of the condor.
Yeah, he's only got 5 hull points left.
Okay.
I have a feeling those won't last too long.
So this dude is going to shoot backwards, medium straight, slam into that tree. He's reduced to gear 1, so re-rolling 1 attack die and 1 evade die.
1 hit.
1 hit. And he doesn't evade it, so he takes 1 hit. But because he collided, he takes 2 more hazards. That brings him to 7 hazards.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he took 3 from being...
Yeah, so he's at 7.
Yeah, so he's at 7 hazards. So that is the end of his attack step. Now it's the wipeout step. He's got to roll at or above his current gear.
Well, that should be easy because he's in gear 1.
Yes, he's in gear 1. Didn't fail his flip check. So that actually wasn't that bad. So he reduced to gear 1, shot back into the tree, took a whole point of damage, but you get to turn him somewhere. And you're going to turn him like that. And my turn again. Okay.
Yep. I have a feeling the condor may not survive.
Will the condor make it to Christmas Town? Skullblazer's in gear 3. He's going to do a gentle turn. Well, you tell me. What do you see there? Is he going to hit the bumper, or is he going to clear it?
He's to see the light on.
Yeah,
his bumper.
I think he's going to hit that bumper on the way through.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you stop there, don't you?
Yeah. I'm at 2 hazards. I'm going to roll some skid dice. Slide, spin, hazard.
I'm going to take 1 hazard and reroll.
Take 1 hazard and reroll all of them. Shift, slide, shift. So I'll get rid of that. And get rid of 1 hazard, which is a wash because I got 1 for the reroll. So I'm still at 2 hazards. And he is going to move forward and I guess crash right about there. Yeah, so that's a T-bone, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the heck. I'm just going to smash. So you're a heavyweight. I'm a middleweight. So you do 5 attack dice and I do 2 attack dice. Assuming you're not evading.
I'm not evading.
Okay. Do you want me to roll my 2 first? Or do you want to roll yours? Okay. 1.
Okay.
I did 1 to the RV. And
I
you did 1.
To you. You can tell these guys aren't raiders.
We both take 2 hazards. So that puts me at 4 hazards for Skullblazer. All right.
Okay, so that's everybody.
That's everybody in gear 2.
So now we're in
So
gear
now we're
3.
in gear 3.
So my question is,
Yeah.
do I just go through you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that's nice about the rules is when you start your turn in contact with something, you just drive through it as though it's not there. And maybe that violates the laws of physics, but it keeps the game kind of moving along. So you just keep moving. Okay, the 1972 Ford Condor 2, driven by Cousin Eddie, is making a move.
He's going to do a medium straight.
Okay.
And...
Skid dice?
No. Okay.
So no skid dice.
No skid dice. And I'm not going to drop any caltrops, but I am going to fix 1 hull point of damage. The other 7 are going to unload on Skullblazer.
Okay.
So we're going to do our shotgun.
It's beyond short range, so that's 2 dice for the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to have 1 guy shoot the shotgun, and then the other 6 are going to do Molotov cocktails.
Okay, and then Cousin Eddie is fixing the machine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 for the shotgun and another 6 for the Molotovs, and then Cousin Eddie is doing some on-the-road repairs.
Quick repairs, yeah. We need to take out Skullblazer.
So, a lot of 1s. You like your 1s, don't you? So 3, 4.
4 with the Molotovs, too. So if they hit, it's fire damage.
Yeah, okay. Then he's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I get 3 evades. 2, 1, and 2. Okay, so 4 hits, so 4 damage.
And he's
Plus,
on fire.
he's on fire.
And fire does 1 damage each turn, right?
Each activation that he's not at 0 hazards, he takes 1 point. So that was the Condor.
That was the Condor.
Okay, so yes, I am going to activate Skullblazer. So at the beginning of his activation, he takes a point from fire. So that takes him down to 4 hull points. He's in gear 3. He's got 4 hazards. He's going to do a turn.
Does he take any hazards per gear?
For the turn, no. He doesn't take any hazards for the turn.
Oh, but he will get a hazard for being...
He will get a hazard for being off the road. So I could roll some skid dice and try to eliminate some of those hazards, but I think I'm just not going to. So he's on fire. He whips around here. He takes a hazard for going off-road. He's going to go ahead and shoot Cousin Eddie with the heavy machine gun. So that's 3 dice for the heavy machine gun and 1 die for somebody's pistol. So 4 total. Okay, so the Condor is back up to 5 hull points because you just repaired one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's 5 hits. So the Condor is in gear 3, which means you get 3 evade dice, so you need at least 1 6 to stay alive. And you didn't do it.
Okay, so
that is the end of the Condor. So getting wrecked. So you hit 0 hull points, you're perforated with bullets, so you do a short straight forward.
Oh, bummer. That might take you out of range. Yeah, it's going to take you out of range.
Oh, you're right at the edge of Christmas Town.
Yeah.
Okay. Become a wreck. Explosion check. D6 plus ammo. How many Molotovs do you have left?
3.
3. All right, so we got to roll 1d6. And if you get a 6 plus, you explode. We got to add the number of Molotovs. So
7.
So you explode.
Yeah.
Everything within medium range is hit with the blast.
No, when...
Unfortunately, nobody.
That
but
sucks.
It's a 66 blast.
Yeah.
And you become a wreck.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm blocking the road to Christmas Town.
You almost made it through the gates of Christmas Town as a flaming wreck. Okay, so now what is Sparky going to do? You should try to straighten out and gun it, because this guy's pointing in the wrong direction. He's in gear 1.
Well, he can't do anything anyway.
This
He's
guy's
only got a pistol.
He's got to catch you because he's got a ram, and he's almost burned up. So you could still make it.
So we're going to do a gentle.
Okay.
He has no hazards, so
Okay.
we're not going to roll any dice. Are we in medium range by any chance?
Not quite.
Not quite, but we are in
You have
range
Magnum.
for the Magnum.
Okay. So out of spite, you're going to shoot the Magnum at
Yeah.
Skullblazer,
Yeah.
who is down to... He's almost burned up. He's got 4 hull points left. 4. So you got him. He gets to roll 3 evade dice. And he evaded. Okay, so Red Crush is going to... He's in gear 4, which kind of limits some of his options. He's got 4 hazards, and he's going to take a hazard by putting down this turn. So we're going to have to roll some skid dice and get a lucky roll. He is in gear 4, but his handling is only 2. Slide and spin. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to take a hazard and re-roll.
So you're at 5 hazards.
Yeah. Shift and slide.
So you're going to get rid of your slide, I take it.
Okay, we'll just get rid of that. Get rid of all of that. Yeah, so he's at 5 hazards. He's going to pick up another one after he moves because he was partially on the rough road. Okay, so he's at 6 hazards because he was on the rough road. There's no one in range because he just has a ram and some handguns. So now it's the wipeout step. He's in gear 4, so he's got to roll 4 or better. 5, he does make it. So he doesn't flip, but...
he does go down to gear 1, right?
Reduce current gear to 1, remove all hazard tokens, and then you get to spin him somewhere. So he wiped out. Yeah, we were going to move Atomic Pizza, but he's in gear 1 because he backed into a tree after shooting his rocket. So yeah, Red Crush is in gear 1, Atomic Pizza's in gear 1.
And he's in gear 3, right? Skullblazer's in gear 3, right?
And Skullblazer's in gear 3.
Okay. So we go to gear 4.
Gear 4, are you in gear 4?
I am.
Okay, so we're in gear 4. The only one in gear 4 is the family truckster, driven by Sparky.
I'm going to do a gentle turn to try to get around my own wreck. And I am going to roll some skid dice.
Okay.
Because I can go up to gear 5. Spin, slide, shift. I'll get rid of the slide and the spin and take a hazard.
Shift and hazard.
Okay. So I will take another hazard and shift up to gear 5.
Okay. You're gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm. So he is in gear 5.
All right.
And he is in, I think I'm in medium range, am I?
Yeah. Okay, so the family truckster is using a submachine gun on Skullblazer, so that's 3d6. And then a magnum, which is 1d6 but has blast. So that's 4d6 total with one special die to indicate the magnum. All right, 6. So
and the magnum did
4.
hit.
And the magnum did hit.
So you take a hazard.
So I take a hazard, but let me roll my evades first. So small arms fire from the family truckster did 4 hull points to Skullblazer. Skullblazer has 4 hull points left. He's in gear 3, which means he gets 3 evade dice, and he needs to get at least 1 evade to stay alive. And he didn't. So that is the end of Skullblazer. So he does a short straight forward.
Does he have? He doesn't have anything explosive.
No, he doesn't have any explosive. Becomes a wreck. Okay, so gear 5, at the beginning of gear 5.
There aren't a lot of choices in gear 5. If I do the long straight, I'm going to run into my wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try the swerve and see what happens. And I have 2 hazards. I think, do I take a hazard? I take a hazard for doing the swerve.
Okay.
So I'm at 3 hazards. I think I won't roll my skid dice.
Okay.
And I don't have anyone to shoot at.
All right. So what is your status right now? How many hull points does the family truckster have?
The family truckster still has 10, and he's in gear 5.
Okay, at this point, I think we can call it because this guy shot his 1 long-range weapon, and this guy doesn't have any long-range weapons. And so as long as you can put down some sort of a template, what template would you put down to make it off the board?
Looks like the gentle will let me get there.
So, yeah, you would.
And then I could do the long straight.
Yeah. Well, you're off the board anyway. Okay, so even though most of the clan died, Sparky and Rust did make it to Christmas Town to join the resistance and the strange interdimensional being known as Klaus.
And we got semi-revenge by taking out Skullblazer.
You did burn up Skullblazer. Unfortunately, Red Crush was pretty useless. But I would have to say, the MVP, yeah, I'm going to put in Atomic Pizza. I'm going to vote for him as being the MVP because he did, like 8 points of damage?
Yeah, he did 8 points of damage.
And had he not done that, it would have been a lot harder to take out Cousin Eddie and the RV, especially with a mechanic on board, patching holes as they were going along. So that allowed that to happen. So that's our Gaslands Holiday Special. I wouldn't call that a happy ending. I wouldn't even say that that's a feel-good movie of any type, but at least...
it's typical Gaslands, though. Lots of carnage.
Typical Gaslands. So 8 members of the Grey Woods almost made it to freedom, but not quite. They sort of skidded. They almost skidded to freedom as a wreck. That would have been something, but fell just a little bit short. And now they're actually going to be blocking escape for other people trying to come through. But Sparky and Rust did make it to the end, and so now they're having some eggnog and hanging out with the folks in Christmas Town, and maybe they'll toast their fallen comrades. But anyway, that's about as much as you could hope for. Yeah. You know, trying to escape the Martian tyranny by getting to the last free city.
If they weren't quite as soft, they might have done better, but they just weren't really good with their weapons yet.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of ones, and frankly, I guess if you're going to try to punch your way through the pass, you should strap a bazooka or heavy machine guns or something on the outside of your RV.
Or at least do some target practice before you go through.
That's right. All right, folks, that is the remastered HD cut of our Gaslands Christmas special from 2019. We hope you enjoyed it. Lynn calls it a blast from the past, and frankly, it's kind of astounding that Gaslands Refueled was released 5 years ago, so time do fly, don't it? Anyway, if the world is still spinning in 2025, we'll be back with more tabletop adventures. But until then, have a great holiday season, be merry, and we'll see you in the new year. Peace.